Well, hello, welcome. This is Thorn in the Flesh. I'm Pastor Deborah, and we're working in collaboration with Pastor Charles Hill with Hang On in Their Ministry. And this is the recovery, faith based recovery. And this week we're going to be working on step 9. So, step 9 says, made a direct amend to such people whenever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. So here it says that therefore, if you have an offering, if you're offering your gift at the altar and you remember that your brother has an ought against you, leave your gift at the front of the altar and first go and be reconciled to your brother and then come with your offering. This is found in Matthew 5:23 through 24. So, like I said, this is a faith-based recovery where we talk about the Lord Jesus as our higher power. He is our Lord here. So I just wanted to make sure that you remembered that for those that's just coming in. So here we talk about amends and making direct amends. So what is a direct amend? Amends is that you make personally to those you harm. It's being in a place where you're correcting a wrong. It's scheduling appointments, making calls, writing letters, requesting permission to talk with someone that you can make an amends with. And it's not blaming the other person. So when we are making an amends, remember, we're talking about correcting a wrong that we've done. The indirect amends is where it's non-personal amends that you can make to those that we harm. And it's like where you really don't have access to that person. So you might want to write a letter, but you might not be able to mail it to that person because you might not know where they are. Or they may have went on to glory. And sometimes we don't get an opportunity to make an amends to people when they're here. Or we might not think about it or be in that place in our mind that we feel that we need to do that. So we can write a letter, we can pray to God, and we can just be kind to other members of their family. So this is an indirect amends. And don't forget, we also need to make an amends to ourselves. So this is usually when we have to look at the things we've done, and we must take the time to set things right in our own life, in our own self. Writing a letter to ourselves and reading it while you're in the mirror. Who would think of that? But guess what? We have to be able to encourage ourselves. So while you're standing in front of that mirror, you can read that letter to yourself saying, I forgive me for some of the bad choices that I've made. I forgive myself for being in the wrong place and doing the wrong things and the things that I brought on myself because of things that we've done because of our addictive behaviors. Usually this is the hardest part to do, is to forgive ourselves and make amends to ourselves. But we need to do this. And we have to know that we are worthy to be accepted for who we are. And just accepting yourself is major. So as we do these things, we're asking God to give us a correct attitude and a heart that will be in line with his will. Because now think about it, we're making amends. It said, made direct amends to such people whenever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. And that means yourself too. So let's use some wisdom here. We should review step 8. And remember, in step 8, we made a list of people that we needed to make an amends to. So person to person, every individual person, we're asking God now to show us how to make contact with these people, how to be sensitive, and how to understand the damage that we've done to them, and to be mindful and to show the change in our behavior. See, that's what it's about. It's about them seeing a change in us. Remember, this is a new thing to us, And it's going to be new to them because you're not coming the same old way with the same old attitude, doing the same old things. So they might not know how to take you. So it's okay. Just be consistent with this change that you're bringing forth. Don't be in a hurry. Be willing to make an amends. God will direct your path. That's why we are building this relationship with him. So we can ask him to direct our path. And he will do it. And like I said, just be consistent. And he'll remove fear and all type of apprehensions from us doing this. Because, we can be a little fearful of trying to make an amends to other people. But if you still feel strong resentments towards someone, think about that. It's not time yet. You need to ask God to help you to forgive them. Remember, in our list, we're making a list of people that we have wronged and people that have wronged us. And we're asking God to help us to forgive these people and how we can correct our wrongs. So ask him to help you to forgive these people so that you can be healed. And this will allow you to move forward in your recovery. Remember, recovery is recovering everything. It's recovering the broken places and pieces in our life. And this is a process. Now, remember, step 4, we started our forgiveness process. And all the requirements to make reconciliation to others. This takes courage to be reconciled to people that we have damaged. It takes courage to be able to really look at ourselves and the parts that we play. But remember, this is for you. You can do this. So don't become stagnant. Don't get fearful and feel like you can't do this. Remember, forgiveness is for you. It's you taking back your power and releasing the other person. So now we know how those old behaviors and things brought us into these different problems. So now it's time for us to accept the responsibility for all the harm that we've done. And we must remain humble. This is a major key. Remain humble. Because now we're experiencing and we're looking at all of our character defects. We're looking at all of our flaws, but it's okay. Everybody has flaws. So don't feel like you're isolated and you're the only person that has flaws. We are all a work in progress. Admit them. Admit them to others like we did in step 5. And this takes courage to be able to look at your flaws, know the things you've done wrong, and now you have to confess them to someone else. And now, not only are you confessing them to someone else, you are now in a place where you're in a position where you're getting ready to make amends to someone for all of those things that we've done. But remember, just ask God to remove them from us. And this takes courage. So in step 8 and 9, we proceed with the final step of cooperation with God in building our character. That's what we're doing right now. We have a new foundation that we're laying, and we're building our new character and strength. And we're making amends where we know that we were wrong. So don't procrastinate on this. Make amends will help you to release. It'll help you to release. It'll help you to be in a place where healing can begin. And it will help you to let go of past resentments. Resentments will hold us in bondage. But when you do these things, even though it might seem a little shaky and you might be a little fearful to do it, it'll bring you to a place where you'll have some serenity and you'll have some peace. It'll come from you actually forgiving someone. Forgiveness is major in your recovery, but forgiveness is major whether you are in recovery or not. This is a practice that we all, as humans, need to practice daily. But remember, because you are in recovery, you're working on yourself. A lot of people are not working on themselves. They think they're okay and they don't believe that they need anything done. But we all need to work on ourselves to be the best version of ourselves that we could be. So release those resentments and allow the healing to begin. And if you don't do this, guess what? Your recovery is going to be stagnant. You're not going to be able to move forward. You're just going to stay in one place. You're not going to grow. You're not going to release. You're not going to allow the healing to begin. So this is a process. So in recovery, making amends allows us to overcome guilt. It promotes health, freedom, and a sound mind and body. Who would thought that? We all are striving to have a sound mind because think about it. We were thinking those insane thoughts, and that brought a lot of stress and damage to our bodies. So now, as we are releasing all of those things, we're looking to the author and the finisher of our faith. We are now allowing ourselves to embrace his love and his healing for us. So pray that God will touch the heart of the person that you're ready to make an amends to also. Just ask him to help you. Ask him to touch their heart. Because we've done some damage along the way. And we must first acknowledge the pain that we have caused other people. And think about this. Some people are still going to be angry. Some people are still going to be bitter towards you. And some might not even accept your amends. So come on, let's just be honest. Some bridges we've burnt, we might not ever get a chance to go back over. But the ones that we can repair, the relationships we can repair, this is what making this amends is about. So when you think of an apology, apology is acknowledging a wrong that we've done or something that we regret. It's still working towards making amends, but amends is working towards restoring goodwill, changing our behaviors, and a new approach, a new way of life. See, that's something new for us. We're learning how to be restored and how to restore broken relationships, changing our behaviors with a new approach. Replacing things is giving back things that we've taken. Okay? This is how we're restoring. Things that we've taken, things that we've damaged, we're rebuilding and we're restoring these things. It's a new lifestyle. And that's what we're striving for right now. A new lifestyle, a better lifestyle, to be the best person we can be. So let's make the opportunity, take the opportunity to say, if there's anyone here that I have heard, I'm taking this opportunity, okay? I'm taking this opportunity. If there's anyone here that I've heard, please forgive me. I'm making amends. Please accept my sincere apology. So, sometimes we don't even know the damage we've done. So don't take it for granted. It's not always chaotic and crazy, the things that we've done. Sometimes we just need to take the opportunity and try and correct some things in our life. So that's what I just did. Please forgive me if it's anyone on here that's watching this. If I've done anything to hurt you, please forgive me. And that's my sincere apology. So we're all a work in progress. And this is something that we all have to do on a daily basis. Look at our life. Look at the things we've done. Look at how we responded, how we act. And when we can correct some things, just do it. This is a lifestyle change. And it will allow God to work on us and in us. There's no exception. We are all, every one of us that's breathing is a work in progress. And we all need God to help make us better and not bitter. So now we have to remember to monitor our inventory. Do this daily. Do this daily. Making amends as we need. And check your attitude. Check your behaviors. This will start to go back to those old destructive behaviors if we don't check it. If we don't be mindful of our attitude and our behaviors. Holding on to resentment. This can be devastating to your recovery. It'll put you in a place of stalemate. You won't be able to go forward. You won't look back. You won't move back. You'll just stay stuck. And we don't want to stay stuck. We've been stuck long enough. So now we are learning how to release them daily to God and to ask Him to help us to let go of any offenses. Any offenses. Sometimes people are going to say things to you that you might not like. Don't take it to heart. See if it's a way that you can make it better. Listen to what they're saying. It could be something that you can approve in. It could be something that maybe you do need to let that just go on and slide off your back. But don't get offended and start holding resentment, because that's going to make your recovery stagnant. This is what the enemy uses to put us in bondage and to keep us in bondage. And we don't want to stay in bondage, because who the Son has set free is free indeed. So be free in the Lord. Our character defects and bad habits and flaws and shortcomings and imperfections and weaknesses are defense mechanisms. So as we look at the list that we've made on step 8, continue to work on this list. Continue to work on it. Continue to prepare to make amends. Ask God to give you the right time and allow you to make an amends, but be sincere. Watch your attitude. Love and forgive yourself. Be careful not to blame the other people that you're going to make these amends to. Take your own responsibility. Stand for what you did, the part you played, and the role you did in the situation. Be willing to accept the consequences. Like I said, everyone's not going to accept your amends or your apology. They're not even going to accept the change, this new you. Some people don't know how to handle that. They like the old you, where they can kind of manipulate you in the way that they wanted you to be. So now that you have changed and you're working on you and you're focusing in on being the best version of yourself, and you're learning how to forgive and release people, some people don't know how to handle that because they're not working on their self. So don't take that personal. Just look at it as reality. Okay, because if you are working to be the best version of you and your friends are not, and they're still doing the same old thing, they don't want you to change. They like you in their circle because now you broke free out of that circle. So they don't know how to deal with you because you're not that same old person. Be willing to turn all your anxiety over to God. Devote time to prayer and to meditation. And don't delay making amends if you don't have to. If you have sincerely forgiven the other person, then you are able, and unless it's going to put you in harm's way, then you have to do other ways of making amends. But think about it, be mindful, and keep it simple, okay? There's no need for explanations. You don't have to explain why you did this or why it was that. All you have to do is say, hey, you know what? I did some things that I know I should have did better. I could have treated you better. Would you please accept my apologies? What can I do to help our relationship here? Can we be friends still? And are you willing to let go of our past? The things that we've done that wasn't right. Amends is not about the other person. It's all about you. This is your recovery, and you are working on you. So express your desires, ask for permission. If you need to call them and say, hey, can we talk? Can we get together? I just want to talk to you about a couple of things. If the person is willing, then do that. And you can ask questions like, can I make this up to you? Will you allow me to show you this new me? I've been working on myself. I'm getting better. Would you allow me to do that? Are you willing for me to make things better in our relationship? How can we make our relationship better? Are you open to letting me help? See, some of these questions are things we've never did before. So then just allow God to do the rest. Sometimes you don't get a chance to make opportunities better. Sometimes you don't get that opportunity to make situations better. Sometimes you just have to accept what was done, the bridge was burnt, and this is what it is. But If you have an opportunity to make things better in your life and people that are dear to you, then please take the opportunity to do it. Just do what you can and accept it for what it is. Because either they're going to accept the change, your willingness to fix what was broken, or they're not. And that's just the bottom line. So, in that process, we need to ask God to give us serenity. So I say the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change and the courage to change the things that I can. And please give me wisdom to know the difference. So I want you to know that, remember, recovery is work. There's many pathways to recovery, and your recovery is for you. You can do this. Recovery is doable. You can do it. I don't have any doubt in my mind. You can do this. One day at a time, one step at a time. Be patient with yourself. Remember, it took time to get in this place. Thank you for being here. This is Thorn in the Flesh. I'm Pastor Deborah, and I'll see you next week. Have a great one. God bless you.